Hey all, welcome to the Sharing Insights YouTube channel where we are exploring permaculture, homesteads, and community throughout Costa Rica. We're kicking it off today at Finca Amrta with Suzanna Leff. Suzanna has a rather impressive volunteer program, and we're going to talk to her a little bit in the video today about her gardens, greenhouse, food drying area, and even a corner of the volunteer kitchen. So join us on the journey and let's see what Suzanna's got to share. Let's get into it. We are here at Finca Amrta with Suzanna Leff, and Suzanna's been here for almost 30 years now, and we just did a really great podcast interview that you can find on sharinginsights.net, and we want to continue the story. So we're out here in the greenhouse area where a lot of her volunteers spend their time helping to grow food, medicinals, some products that they sell to help sustain the farm and its needs. And so Suzanna is going to give us a little bit of a tour of what's here, some of the cool innovations. We've got some cool vertical gardens, and yeah, I'll let you go ahead and share what you got.
Okay, well, this is our greenhouse. We've had this for this is probably our 5th greenhouse, but we've had it for 10 years, and we've had to change the roof once since then. But we grow a lot of our food in here that we eat. And also we grow a lot of our medicinal herbs in here for making salves that are really amazing.
I particularly like, the use of bamboo. Here you've got several different species of bamboo, and it's just, so simple. Just a simple little A-frame, but it's sustaining these tomatoes. And here, as a growing medium, you don't have to even buy bricks. Things like this. You've even got some hanging ones. Here are some old gutters that you've repurposed, and you've got these for getting more vertical space. I just really love all the different types of things that you've upcycled into the space. Even here you've got some old crates with some old mosquito netting to hold soil. It's just really cool, and it shows experience really, and it takes time to get out of the we need to buy stuff mentality to drop into wait a minute, we have stuff.
Yeah, I don't like wasting things either. So if we have, old sheets, we can tie stuff up with old sheets. This actual structure is made with the bamboo from down by the river. This is pretty much where we get a lot of our food. We do grow in the summer. We grow things outside too, where they're not going to get rained on too much. We've got rosemary growing and lots of lettuce. We have lots of salad. Salad is one of the main things we love to eat here.
Over here is another bit that's just, it's the simple things that make so much sense sometimes. Just having this little area out here, can imagine, I know for us cooking pehiwai or cooking beans and things like that takes some hours with the gas stove. I mean, you're buying gas, right? So in this super beautiful environment surrounded by plants, to be able to get a little fire going and sit around and make some food. I just love that you've used this space to have another supplemental element to the rest of what you've got going on.
It works really well. So in there's chairs to sit around, talk, have a good time.
Beautiful. Out here, I want to bring the video to this dry room that you've got. I was actually surprised when I found this sitting here that this is their dry room. I have the mentality oh, it's rainy season, humidity comes in, you got to keep things really closed and dry. But really, this space, it is a dry space. It has some screen along the side, so it is open air. But Suzanna was just telling me that they dry copious amounts of products in here to then store for later use. But come on in and check this out. It's really simple and makes tons of sense.
Yeah. We've processed pretty much everything from our last harvest. That's why these are all empty. Normally they're full. We dry our sesame in here. We dry our peanuts in here. We dry pretty much everything that we want to dry is in this space. We have another dryer too, and these are yampi, and we just harvested them the other day, and they're full of dirt. So we're trying to dry the dirt, because by drying the dirt, we can put them in sacks and store them for as long as we want.
With the dirt on them.
With the dirt on them.
That keeps them longer.
That keeps them longer. So we have them, and but this is normally filled with stuff, and we hang things from here.
Herbs and so forth.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is a great room. Super practical.
Yeah, it works really, really well.
You said the pillows in the house are all stuffed with this.
Yeah, and all the meditation pillows that we use for our group meditations are all stuffed with the cotton from here.
And these are coming back to our farm. For sure. In the podcast, Suzanna was describing a mural that she directed a volunteer to who was lacking enthusiasm in the field. And so we brought you here. Tell us the story here.
Well, the story I'll tell you again is that I don't like it when people work and are not happy working. I like them to do what they like, because I don't want that negative energy. It's really selfish. I'm selfish because I don't want the negative energy in my food. So this one guy, I went out in the garden and I could tell he was miserable. And I go, "What? Are you happy?" He goes, "No, I'm here because my wife's here and I'm not really happy." I go, "What do you like to do? What's your passion?" And he said, "I'm an artist." So I took his hand and I brought him over to this house and I said, "Paint that wall." And that's what he did.
Wow. So yeah, those
Common man starting on his spiritual journey.
Yeah.
wow, okay. So Miguel was just telling us this is actually a Toltec story of this man, this hero, beginning his hero's journey, and the art represents that life journey, that story, that path, the journey of the soul. And this was some guy who was staying at the farm with his wife who loves plants, and this brilliant woman right here saw that there was more to him than what she saw on the surface and found the gem hidden inside. So good on you, Suzanna.
The other thing I wanted to say quickly about the peanuts is they're nitrogen fixated. So
Right.
the next thing that will be planted in there is a heavy feeder, because
Right.
they've just put a ton of nitrogen into the soil.
Right. Okay. So one of the reasons that we're at Finca Amrta is because Suzanna just has a great volunteer program, and Mark is one of the volunteers here right now. And in our conversation, we learned that they've been pollinating their vanilla vines. And we've got some vanilla, we haven't really been pollinating them. And for us, we only have like one bean growing on all of our vines. But here, they're taking a proactive. And I just learned that the vanilla vine only flowers once a year for about 4 or 5 hours. So Mark was here and caught that magic moment. I'll let him talk a little bit about what it's like to pollinate the vanilla, and he's got some beans here producing to show for it.
It's such an amazing thing to do, to be honest. You come here up in the morning when everything is quiet and the day is just starting. And it's pretty hard to see now. This vine is pretty exposed, but some of them climb over the trees. So you need to kind of try to find the flowers. And then it's kind of like a complicated process, but what you need to do is to open the flower and try to get a connection with 2 parts of the flower. So by massaging them, you are gonna get them to pollinate, and then you're done. You just go back to work. So the great thing is that 24 hours later, you come looking for more flowers, and you can tell which flowers you pollinated 24 hours ago, and you did it right, because sometimes it doesn't catch. So it's such an amazing thing to come back next day and see which ones did well. And then that's 4, 5, 6 months in, and they are growing fat and big, so we did a good job.
So when you say that you have to put them together, do you put one flower inside of the other one? Do you make them kind of kiss each other? Do you use something else to go inside and then go inside?
What I do, I use like a little piece of stick, something really small. It could be a toothstick. Basically, what you do is with one flower, the same flower, what you gotta do is open it and try to flap something down, and then flap this one down too, and then just massage it all together. So it's just every flower have the power to pollinate itself. It's just that it's separated, so you gotta kind of play with it, so it ends up touching the right part and it pollinates.
Oh wow, so yeah, I guess I have some more learning to do. I thought it had something to do with actually putting like a stick inside of the flower to grab the pollen and put inside of another one. But
that's the thing, like with the stick, what you use the stick for is to separate some parts of the flower to be able to put them back together on the right place, and then the pollination happens when you massage it. Some people, what they do is they use a little stick and they use one flower that they just take away from the plant, and they use that pollen to bring straight to the right place.
Okay, that's what I've heard.
That could be. But in my opinion, it's really, really amazing when you become completely present with every single vine, every single flower. You just put your love into it, and it just itself.
And you can encourage it to give its own seed.
Right.
Wow.
It's amazing.
So cool. There it is, YouTube world, my first dive into video touring somebody else's farm. It was, I have a lot to learn about cinematography, and I'm sure plenty of improvements are to come, but thankfully Suzanna made it delightfully easy, and it was just a pleasure to spend time with such a lovely woman. You know, Suzanna has been doing this for over 30 years. She's hosted thousands of volunteers. And we did a full-length podcast episode where we go deep into what she does to kind of manage her volunteer system and keep it such a beautiful and harmonious kind of program. Yeah. So there is a link to that, as well as some links on how to follow Suzanna in the description below, her website and Facebook. But if you like these peeks into ecotourism in Costa Rica and you'd like to see more of it, be sure to hit the subscribe button below, mark that bell, and get notifications when the next episodes come out. I just did a tour. I think I have about 12 episodes that I gathered in the last couple of weeks. So we've got a lot of really great footage that's being edited right now, and I'm excited to share it all with you. So yeah, just make sure to follow the story, and I hope you might learn something to help you on your own sustainability journey. Thanks for joining me on the adventure. See you next time.